Hi, I'm Amaya and welcome back to my channel. Recently, a lot of people have been talking about how Rich Man by Aespa didn't hit the mark. So in today's video, we're going to analyze why that happened and how perfectionism limits K-pop. To start, K-pop is not the most authentic genre of music. Every group is an industry plant and most idols have no artistic input on any of their songs. Even the term idol shows that they are meant to be idolized and not seen as everyday people like you and I. We can see this in basically every aspect of K-pop. They want perfect visuals, so much so that South Korea is the plastic surgery capital of the world. It's rare to see idols without makeup and skin smoothing filters. Take a look at Twice's first teaser for Set Me Free, where the concept was removing their makeup and being comfortable with who they are. But even then, they have these very obvious filters smoothing out their skin. K-pop performances want to portray perfect vocals and choreography. In order to do this, K-pop groups often resort to using pre-recorded vocals because they can't risk having any imperfect moments on stage. This results in groups getting dragged when they have bad encore performances. Just think back to LE SSERAFIM's promotions for Easy. We even see groups using pre-recorded vocals when they have to sing without dancing. For example, Wonyoung and ESO's famous performance of Strawberry Moon by IU. This even affects music genres. K-pop typically sticks to making pop music, which is easy to do because it was made to be enjoyable for the average person. Producers can auto-tune their voices to hit every note, making for a perfect listening experience. Even with R&B, as long as your group can hit the notes, you're good to go. Other genres like rap are common because of the Black influence on K-pop. Even in a genre like rap, which is heavily influenced by where you come from, telling your own story through your lyrics, working with producers to create your own style, having a unique flow. K-pop kind of cleanses it to make something that's easy for the average non-rap fan to listen to. Typical K-pop raps are either inspired by a modern American rapper, a recreation of old-school hip-hop, or a softer approach where they're more quickly singing than rapping. The genres that are a little harder for K-pop are rock and punk, because you typically have to let go of that perfect image and sound if you want to pull them off successfully. As I mentioned in the intro, Aespa has recently come under fire for their song Rich Man. I am a rich man. For several reasons. One is for their stage presence and dancing in their performance on Good Morning America. Another reason is for their use of AI in the music video. And the third is for sounding too polished compared to the demo. In their leaked demo, you can hear more of that rock influence with more attitude, less auto-tune, and stronger bass. I am a rich man. Everybody line up, wanna shake my hand. Aespa's version has breathier vocals, which make for a more lackadaisical or carefree feeling. I am a rich man. I am a rich man. This isn't exclusive to Aespa. Most K-pop groups take a more laid-back approach when they try new concepts, because they don't want to stray too far from their original image and isolate some of their listeners. HYBE's recently debuted boy group Cordis released their song What You Want, which is a very pop-punk inspired song. So with this song coming out around the same time as Aespa's Rich Man, both doing similar genres, why did one succeed in capturing the style of the song where the other one failed? Let's look into it. The two components I'm going to look at are their look, so the styling, the music video, and then their sound, so the actual song. Let's begin with their look. Aespa's styling for their title track was bold, inspired by the rock sound. You can see them in leather jackets, they have studded belts, they're riding on motorcycles. So based on their styling, it looks like they're really going to jump into this genre. I went over this when I talked about ITZY's sneakers and how they had a princess concept in the photos, a kind of elegant or regal look, and then the song sounded completely different. The styling is important in telling fans what to expect. Then let's talk about the sound. Listening to the demo, fans would have expected them to swing harder. The one thing that I really noticed is that there isn't much emotion in the song. Aespa is very vocally strong. We can listen to songs like Drama, Newsflash, in Aespa's title tracks, they've been keeping this kind of breathy, whisper-like quality to their vocals.
Big flash, think fast, immortal, been bad, I can't touch that. Hold tight, get tough, real bad business, that's dirty work. I am a rich man, I am a rich man, I am a rich man, I am what I am, I am a rich man.
But rock needs that emotion. It's about expressing yourself and being bold. So Aespa should have come a little bit out of their signature style and pushed a little bit harder there. Compare this to the song I mentioned earlier, where there's a little bit more vocal texture. We hear them scream at some points. You have to have a little bit of variety so the entire song isn't super mellow, because the instrumental is doing so much work in creating that rock sound, and then they sound so calm on the song that they don't go together. From the first chorus to the last chorus of Rich Man, there's no real development. And this is something that's really interesting because Aespa is really good at this.
I am a rich man, rich man, I am what I am, so good, so good, so good. I am a rich man, I am what I am.
With them starting off so calm, ending so calm, it makes you feel like they didn't take you on a journey like they have with some of their previous title tracks. Compare this to other songs that they've done like Black Mamba and Savage, where they weren't afraid to be a little louder in order to push that powerful image that they were going for. I do think some of this was people dogpiling because they didn't like their performance on Good Morning America, and as groups get older, I feel like people just start kind of trying to look for a reason to dislike them. Aespa is such a strong group. They typically have amazing title tracks. This one was just okay, and because normally they're great, it just made people feel like this was terrible. But honestly, this was not a bad song in my opinion. So, punk and rock aren't afraid of being imperfect. When a group can't fully commit to the concept, it can be indicative of how K-pop limits artistry by trying to push perfectionism. What do you think? Did Aespa nail this concept, or was I right? Let me know in the comment section down below. While you're there, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, my birthday's this week. Thank you guys for all of your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!